personnel files on all the congressmen, senators, their staffers, the media. She's got it all.
We're going to have the Jezebel demon princess as our queen.
That's right.
You're right.
Pastor Manning, can you do 5 more minutes with myself and Nichols? Or you got to go?
Yeah, I can.
Well, take us out to break. We're 60 seconds. Take us out to break, Manning. You're chomping at the bit. I am too. Go ahead.
The Jezebel of modern times is now before us on television, running for president, and most likely is going to take it hook or crook. And so when you said Jezebel, that is how she ought to be identified. And when we look at the kind of power and the corruption and the pain that Jezebel brought to the people of Samaria and the people of Israel in the northern kingdom, we need to get ready here in America.
That's right. This country's going under judgment. If Hillary Clinton's elected, absolutely. The Bible says that when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against it. And mathematics and quantum mechanics shows that for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction, Newtonian physics. But I've seen that now in my 42+ years on Earth. As I get a little bit older, a little bit wiser, I just see that things actually work in patterns. There's rules of the universe, and Trump's not perfect. He's a nationalist. He wants prosperity. He's become more of a Christian. I know people that know him well. He's a listener. I'm going to just stop right there. Don't give the press weapons they want. But Trump's dialed in, folks. And so this great evil's rising up. God's giving us an opportunity. Do we take it or do we leave it? And I'm telling you that I know in my heart if Hillary's elected, she's going to cause a world war and destroy this country. I just know it. I know for the most certainty in my life that if we let her steal the election, whatever, we're done. This is it. This is the death of our country and probably other countries. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm sure of it. I've never talked like this. That's why I'm just all in, everything against her. Pastor Manning, closing comments from you, then I'm going to get closing comments here from Larry Nichols. I'm going to come back and take calls and go to our next guest. But this has been an epic last hour. People can't say the shows just get more and more powerful. That's because it's reality. This isn't a game. This isn't entertainment. You've been visited. I've been visited. I mean, this isn't a game. But we understand that if we lose this, we lose everything. So there's nothing to lose but laying down. We fight, we win.
Alex, you are both historically, scripturally, and according to physics, you're dead on. For the action, the reaction, historically and scripturally, when Jezebels take place or when the enemy comes in like a flood, God does raise up a standard. That is the opposite reaction. And Hillary is going to perhaps bring America back to its senses again and raise up the standard against her, as was in the days of Ahab and Jezebel. When all 850 prophets were eating at her table, God brought in one prophet by the name of Elijah, who called for no dew nor rain for a period of 3 years to bring down the power of the kingdom. So you're right on 3 points, and all you have to do is just follow those 3 points. And I've always taught that if you want to know how to do something and how to succeed at it, no matter what might be your religious or spiritual beliefs, if you do it the way the Bible does, or the way God does, you'll always have great success. So I think for your looking back to Jezebel and Ahab and looking at what happened in physics in terms of reaction, you're dead on. And we can take comfort in that. Though it might look dark and gloomy now, we can take comfort in the fact that even Hillary herself is not greater than the truth of physics. She can't defeat physics.
Atla.org. The Spirit of the Lord is strong with this one. Thank you, Pastor Manning. Thank you. Going back to Larry Nichols. Thank you, sir. Larry Nichols, minute and a half, closing comments. You've been dead on, my friend. We're praying for you. Look forward to getting you on for a full hour to take calls sometime next week. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I mean, Alex, it's just where it is. You will see the most incredible thing happening now that you've ever seen. The media and everybody, they know Hillary, and they're scared to death of her. She's going to be able to snap her finger, Alex, just snap her finger. And the media is going to not cover a story that she doesn't want covered. They're going to cover a story that she wants covered. They're going to be able to lie and propagate all manner of scandals and things against Trump. And the media is so afraid. Everybody wants.
So you're saying get ready to really see Hillary become fire-breathing. We're about to see the real Hillary.
Oh, my God, yes, yes. I mean, buddy, it's over unless we win.
I just can't believe that the Washington elites, who aren't perfect, but there's some different elites that aren't all bad, and other groups are really going to let this crazy person get full control.
They don't have a choice now, Alex. They don't. This is that day that I've been afraid of for years and years and years. This is that day. And it's going to happen just sure as you and I are sitting here. It's going to happen with the pastor being on. You know, I'm just telling you, it's all.
No, I'm just getting myself right with God. I mean, you can look at her. Yeah. She is a frickin' demon. I mean, that woman has the eyes of a serial killer. She just, sends a chill up my spine. God bless you, Larry. We're praying for you, my friend. Wayne Madsen was a NSA whistleblower back when they didn't put you in federal prison for exposing criminal activity, high level. He's a best-selling author for decades, written for some of the biggest publications in the country. Been a guest of ours for more than 19 years, and he's been working with us the last year. He'll be covering the RNC and hopefully the DNC with us this year. So part of the teams we are fielding on the ground for that group of events. I want to go to phone calls, been holding a while, about what's happening in the world. Madsen obviously can comment on those. He's just popping in today. Then Joe Biggs is joining us at the bottom of the hour, or maybe 40 after, so I need more time with Madsen from the border with things that are happening there. We try to cover everything that's unfolding. Briefly, we're doing the biggest sale we've ever done now because we're adding non-GMO seeds, heirloom seeds, shortwave, solar power, and crank radios. We're adding, all the storable food up to 40% off, 20 to 40% off. A lot of it's 40% off. It's not some gimmick where one thing's 40% off. Most of it's 40% off. And then we've also got 20% off Survival Shield Nation Iodine X2. Now, some of this stuff is going to end early. I said it's going through next week. I've extended it, Independence Day, beyond 4th of July. In fact, I want to say it's now the Independence Day sale, but some things will have to go off because we're going to sell out of them. You get free shipping on orders $50 or more and 10% off additionally when you sign up for auto ship on things like Brain Force or Super Male Vitality or Anthroplex. I mean, a lot of folks, you want to sign up for auto ship, like a shortwave radio, that'll last you 10 years or longer. Or a Seed Vault, you don't need that till next year. But you can sign up for 15 days, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months on the auto ship and get 10% off additionally as well. And we always hold stuff back, so when you sign up for something on auto ship, be it Secret 12 or Super Female Vitality or Lung Cleanse, then it's never sold out. So take advantage of that today at InfoWarsStore.com or InfoWarsLife.com for our nutraceuticals. Find the whole family of great products by Longevity at InfoWarsHealth.com, and your purchase there gets you the biggest discounts out there and also helps fund this operation for the longevity products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, OsteoFX, and so many others at InfoWarsHealth.com. Okay. I am literally overwhelmed times 10. I mean, used to, there was a lot of news 20 years ago. Now it is just insane asylum what's going on. They're all over the news announcing they want to put chips in all the kids on mainstream. I've got like 3 articles a day and news clips, ABC News saying everybody's going to get a chip soon. What is that? Euro rocked by Brexit. Now George Soros spends $100 million on German bank collapse. Deutsche Bank to sell $1 billion of shipping debt to boost capital. Saudi Arabia is having to do $10 million loans. I mean, stuff's getting weird. Deutsche Bank's going straight down right now. It'll make Lehman Brothers look like a hiccup. We've got all that craziness. We've got bizarre left-wing. It's not even left-wing. It's suicidal behavior. I'm not a right-winger. Wayne Madsen used to be called a liberal, but I know he's been supporting Trump tacitly because Hillary's so evil. I mean, I'm not against Muslims. Our government goes, stirs them up, puts the radicals in charge, and now they have the Swedish party government minister saying, when the Muslims rape, it's okay because it's their culture. Now left-wing German politician who was raped by migrants lied and said it was Germans because she didn't want to say it was Muslims. I mean, and then she wears a hood over her head to sympathize with them. It's Stockholm Syndrome. I as a classical liberal, I'm getting really pissed off, man. And Hillary persecuting the press for stuff and whistleblowers, and then she gets away with stuff 10,000 times worse. I know Wayne Madsen's written articles about this. I think Hillary's mainly a Chinese government agent. I know Israel's involved, and so are the Saudis, but he's written an article, and I respect this guy, at Infowars.com. It's at WayneMadsenReport.com as well. Israel pressured FBI to clear Hillary. If Israel was spying via Hillary's servers, it would explain why FBI is backing off. Well, yeah, that's what I've said day one. She's not an idiot. She's always sold access and data. You put it on there, you have plausible deniability, boom. And so he's got an article saying Israel was using it as a clearinghouse. That makes sense because as bad as our government is, would they really let the Chinese do this? I mean, anybody does it, it's treason. So he's got the sources. Let me tell you, I'm not kissing his butt, but it's true. He is the original Snowden. Snowden's a great guy, done great things. Notice he's attacking Hillary. He knows who the evil is. Notice WikiLeaks is as well. They know who the evil is. I mean, these are evil people, folks. All the real liberals, and by liberal, I mean pro-freedom, are against Hillary. It's not that Trump's perfect, but my God, this woman's bad. I'm ranting here, Wayne, because it's just over the top. Where do you want to start first? With what happened yesterday? I mean, it's just, it's like I'm a tennis player and they got a ball machine shooting balls every second here. I can't hit them all.
Yeah. You know, yesterday was very interesting to listen to FBI Director Comey. You know, the FBI never misses a chance to go after, quote unquote, Russian and Chinese hackers. I mean, they almost have a franchise on this. But yesterday I was listening to Comey very closely, and he did admit that Hillary Clinton's private servers, remember, we were told it was one server in Chappaqua. That was the other revelation. Comey said there were multiple servers, and some had been taken offline, and it was like trying to get all these emails together. It was like trying to put together a giant jigsaw puzzle. Now, if that doesn't show criminal intent, I don't know what does. But let's get back to this foreign intelligence agents. He said, we know that foreign intelligence agencies took advantage of the lack of security on Hillary Clinton's servers to penetrate and obtain classified information, which he included as sensitive compartmented information.
And that's what you did at the NSA. You headed up a major division program trying to stop people leaking info. Isn't this a classic deal to put it on some server and claim you don't know it's penetrated? I mean, she knew. She's a famous spy, been CIA since college. She knew full well what she was doing.
Well, if she doesn't know, all the people around her certainly knew. And Sidney Blumenthal, who was working with her on these private servers to help bring down Gaddafi in Libya, and what a wonderful result we've seen there from that very poor decision. And the Benghazi stuff was all being transmitted by these private servers. But when I heard Comey say foreign intelligence agencies, he didn't refer to China and or Russia. That is always code because the Israelis are involved. You cannot be an FBI director or a career prosecutor in the Justice Department and even be thought that you're investigating Israel. And if you did look at it, you're certainly not going to mention, anything about Mossad. And then I heard the same guy, some a cybersecurity expert on both Fox News and an interview with Politico. Neither one of them Fox is generally pro-Israel, as is, I believe, Politico. And this guy said that the countries involved, he said China, Russia, and Israel. And he said that on Fox News, and he said it in an interview with Politico. After hearing Comey and then hearing this guy who had apparently worked in security for Alcatel, Lucent, and Cisco Systems, he seemed to know what he was talking about.
So clearly it's being reported Israel was in there. Obviously, Israel's penetrated the U.S. more than anybody. And let's be clear, I don't hate Israel. It's different power blocks. But at the same time, Israel puts people in prison that admit they have a nuclear program that's been around 45 years. Yeah. It's not right. You're not allowed to come in here and get our secrets and, by the way, then sell them to China. Because Israel does that. They love to sell our stuff to China, but the FBI never complains about that.
Look, I've been to Israel 2 times, and every time I was over there, I had very good discussions with Israelis about how bad their government is, and it's worse now than it ever has been. Netanyahu is completely off the rails. He's now in Africa, kibitzing with 2 of the worst dictators in African history, Museveni of Uganda and Kagame of Rwanda. But,
exactly. By the way, we put it on screen where Politico is saying Israel. So this is unprecedented for them to even mention Israel or whatever factions controlling this. Let me ask you the bottom line from your sources. You're a smart guy. You don't like to speculate. What do you think Hillary was really doing? I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I've got a good instinct. Wasn't she really just selling data and putting it on the server?
I don't think she was selling it, but it was this, it's this pay-to-play thing that even her and her husband and Chelsea's Clinton Global Initiative, Clinton Foundation was involved with. See, there was this triangle between Hillary at